Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Dreamzzz Zoey's Dream Jetpack Booster Polybag set. This is set number 30660. It has 37 pieces and I paid $5 for this. I think this is from like the second or maybe the third wave of Dreamzzz, if they're on that already. I know this, well, I don't know for sure, but I don't think I've seen this before. I actually didn't know about it until I saw it in the store, so I picked it up and I'm excited to look at it. So in this video I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. While I build, I'll speed the video up and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Dreamzzz Zoey's Dream Jetpack Booster Polybag, I just wanted to say thanks for watching and then remind you, if you like the video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. Okay, so this is the Lego Dreamzzz Zoey's Dream Jetpack Booster Polybag set. This is pretty cool, about what I expected. There's not a ton here, but what is here is okay. I don't mind this at all. And the first thing we will take a look at is the minifigure, which the minifigure along with its accessories are a majority of this polybag, I want to say. So we'll take a look at this. I'll kind of break it up as well as I can. But we have Zoey here. So I think I have other versions of this character. I don't believe I have this exact one. I could be mistaken. Maybe this is a new character, but I don't believe so. I think I have hair pieces that are similar to this. But this hair piece is really, really nice. It's a nice color, nice design with the different kind of braids there and everything here. They have a bow and arrow. I don't know if this is purple or blue, and actually for a lot of this, for the hair and for the torso and everything, I'm not sure if it's purple or blue or kind of a pinkish color there, but we will look at that. And they have this big jetpack here, which is an accessory that is, a substantial part of the set, but at least for looking at the minifigure first, I'm going to remove that and we can take a look at this. So the character has the face printing. It has kind of like makeup or some kind of marking kind of going over the eyes, and you can see it has kind of like rougher edges, so it looks like it's maybe something they put on themselves. We have this face. We also have an alternate expression, so we have the one there and we have the one there, so that's really nice. Torso is very good, super detailed, has kind of the hourglass dreams time thing there. It's like a zipper, almost looks like a bomber jacket or something like that. Some little details over on the side. The zipper is really, really nice. It's kind of open at the top, and they have a shirt or something underneath there. Really, really good detail on this torso. We do have printing on the midsection, good detail for kind of like a belt, and then printing on the legs with up at the top, in the middle, and down to the feet. Dreamzzz figures, as far as I've seen, have been pretty detailed and pretty well produced, considering it's Lego, the Lego Group's own intellectual property, kind of like Ninjago. So they are able to put more stuff in here for cheaper, or I don't really know what all the other reasons are for why some figures that are in other, under some other intellectual property licensing thing, why they're maybe not as detailed, but for the things that Lego does, internally on some level, they do pretty good detail on there. So no printing on the arms, but that's okay. Looking at the back, has the back of the jacket, kind of has the cat emblem here, which is cool, and then a really detailed back. This almost reminds me of what you might see on like a Speed Champions or a Driver thing. So we have all these like dots with kind of a gradient here. We also have the different stripes there, and then of course the kind of a fox or cat looking kind of logo type thing on the rear. So that's really, really nice. Overall, this is a good figure, and like I say, I think I've seen Zoey in other sets. I don't believe I have them in this outfit with these legs and with this torso, so that is very nice. Good to get the bow and arrow in maybe a new color, or a color that I'm not super used to seeing it, so that's very nice. And then, like I said, the set is called the Dream Jetpack Booster, so it does come with this accessory, which is a jetpack type thing. So this goes over the minifigure neck there, and so it would cover up a lot of the back. And this is a piece that is like the backpack piece that goes over the minifigure neck, and then it just has like this Technic piece here that you can fit Technic pins into. So you put the pin with the ball joint on either side, and then you build up these wings for this jetpack that does allow these to be posed, because these can move all around on the ball joint there. These are pretty simple, but I think the color choices are nice. We have kind of the angled plate in sort of that really light blue, light azure there, and then we use the mixel joint, the piece that's like a 2x2 with a 1x2 on it, that allows you to change the direction of where like studs might be, a bracket piece, and then the grate piece up top. We add on the cones, which could be the back of the jetpack, the thrusters, the booster, or that could be the front, and they could be something else. I don't think it necessarily has to be one way, even if the picture here shows it one way. And then on the other side, we have that translucent disc piece with the other piece in the middle. Because those are backed by the black piece there, it maybe is a little bit hard to see their color. At least it is for me. So again, I don't know if this is pink. It's definitely not like the satin translucent or anything like that with the kind of the sparkles in it. I think it's the same color as the cones, but I could be wrong about that. It's a little bit hard for me to tell, so let me know in the comments. But I could easily see these being boosters or thrusters, or something else. So whether there's exhaust or a propeller or whatever they might be, I think, the Dreamzzz line is really good about encouraging people to rebuild and reimagine things and make things their own. So I think it could easily go either way. And yeah, this is a fine jetpack. It's not too big. It's not so big that it completely like weighs the figure down a tremendous amount. I have to check on like the overall balance here to see what it looks like to get them standing, and there might be a way to have them standing, at the very least you could kind of like move those behind them, something like that, and stand them up straight. Otherwise you might need to bend them at the hips a little bit more forward to be able to stand on its own. But this is cool, and they can be flying like this. That looks pretty good, or kind of more like they are on the bag there with different stuff. So flying kind of something like this, maybe they're descending down, and that's all pretty nice. I think the color scheme works throughout as an accessory, which is good. And then the rest of the set is a build for a thing that I don't know, I never can remember what they're called, if they're called like Nightmarelings or some sort of the Night King or the Witch, or the different maybe somewhat antagonistic characters, the Grim Keeper and the Pegasus horse and stuff like that have a similar theme. And there's been the Dreamlings, and there's another version of those as well. But we get one of these, which is kind of this flying creature here. Very, very simple. Uses kind of that camera base and sort of that pink color there. The hollow 1x2 with the rounded plate there. Kind of the spike tooth piece on the top. Little barb in the kind of pale yellow, pastel yellow, and then we get the wings that are like that translucent kind of pinkish purplish color, and the eye prints, which these are used in a lot of the Dream sets. I can't remember if these are the same eyes that were used in some Hidden Side stuff, or if this was a new print for Dreams. For some reason, when I'm looking at this now, it's been a while since I've looked at a Hidden Side set, but I do have some still in boxes that I haven't done on the channel yet that I might be looking at in the future. So I'd have to see if those eyes are present in Hidden Side and they kept them around for all this time. But this is very, very basic, but it is its own little thing. It's almost like its own little figure. There, maybe this character is chasing the other one or something else so that they can interact together, which I think is really, really fun. And it's not a ton of pieces. I think overall, this set doesn't have a ton of pieces, 37 pieces there. The other thing I wanted to point out is that, like a lot of Dreamzzz stuff will have kind of a build and then an alternate build, and they might be like a base model, and then you can add things to that or change it around and make one and then make another thing there. And as far as I know, in the polybags, that hasn't been the case. Pretty limited on pieces, but I would like to think that a designer could get creative and make something a little bit different out of these pieces that are in this polybag. And if not, I think there's room actually in this polybag to add a few more. It's not uncommon for Dreamzzz sets to have some pieces that aren't used in one of the models. In fact, I think a lot of them that I've seen, maybe all of them that I've seen, have some element of that, and you might put it into one configuration, you have some leftover pieces, and then you might put it in the other configuration and have different leftover pieces. And this one, like, all the pieces are used, all the pieces that you would normally get. We do have the extra pieces that are the ones you would typically expect in extra pieces as far as being small and light, but there isn't like any official kind of alternate builds for this, and I maybe would have liked to see this. So I'll show the extra pieces before I talk about value, even though that does relate. So eye tile, barb, and the stud there. Those are the 3 extra pieces. So 37 pieces, 1 minifigure. You basically get a small build and a minifigure with a built-up brick built, plate built accessory there. I think there's room in this to bump it up to, 50 pieces. 49 pieces, adding 10 to 12 to 15 pieces to this, no matter how small, to give us either another accessory or to give us options for like a different build that we can put these in. Maybe instead of a jetpack, it's sort of like a jet skateboard, hoverboard type thing, and you could take a lot of the pieces used for this, but instead of it being like clipped to their back as an accessory, it's something they can stand on. And I actually think there's like room for that to be at this price and be in there, and then also kind of staying consistent with what I have come to expect, at least from Dreamzzz sets. I think, for a character like this, I think it's uncommon for them to have kind of like this is one orientation and this is the other. For the Grimkeeper set, that one had like the alternate things were for one of the characters' kind of builds. It was actually kind of a side build, and it could be like this hover motorcycle type thing, or it could be a different type of spacecraft, aircraft type of thing. And I think there's room for that here, and I really would have liked to see that. As is, the figure is really, really good. And if it is new, new print for the legs and the torso, that is very nice to see. It's cool to be able to get that in a relatively affordable poly bag. But comparing this to other poly bags, taking into account that it is it's Lego's own property, I think they can and should make these better value. I know in the past, like, Ninjago sets were good value. I've encountered that several times when I was first getting into the theme, and now I think they're not as good. And Dreamzzz, I felt when it came out, it released in a time when the pricing for Lego was kind of in a shift, I would say, and it wasn't the best value all the time, but there was like interesting gimmicks. There was the newness, the novel factor of it, but there was some stuff about being able to build and rebuild and play with them. And there's the tie-in TV show and all this different stuff. I think they could afford to keep this at $5 and make it like go that little extra mile. Continue with the alternate builds. a few more pieces in here. I'm not asking for a whole other figure. I'm not really asking for too much, but I think maintaining the $5 price point is really, really great. And I think this has room. This has an area where they could have slotted in some pieces and actually made a big difference. You know, if this did have 50 pieces and there was a different build that I could like take these kind of jetpack parts apart and reassemble into something else, whether that means there's a couple leftover pieces or not, there's value in that to me. There's value for the build experience, there's value for the play experience, there's a little bit more like agency for the builder or the owner of the set that I think is really, really fun. I get to spend more time with this set generally, and of course people can always make that on their own. Lego's really good about that, encouraging that, but I do like, you know, for this and Creator 3-in-1 where some of that stuff, or the 2-in-1 Technic, like that stuff is put, you know, out there, put forward as you know, official things, and I really would have liked that. I think as is, yeah, it's not the best value. It's okay if you need this figure, you want this figure, not a big deal. If you have a big collection, if you have parts, a part inventory or something, you know, this could be added to, this could be mocked or whatever and changed, getting to the what I would think is the better version of this. But I also think Lego can afford to and should kind of do that when it's possible. They make a lot of money, and this kind of stuff doesn't cost them a ton of money, and I would like to see the value proposition a little bit better. And that's not the case with every polybag or everything else like that, but it is meaningful, and in this case with the theme, with what could be in here, with just my kind of off the cuff brainstorming, spitballing ideas, I think there's a lot of room, and Lego designers are very creative and innovative, and more so than I am, and so I know there's a way to figure this out and make this just a bit better that makes a big impact and makes the $5 not as doesn't feel as bad. So in terms of value, you know, I'm not thrilled about it, and it's not because there's like not enough stuff here. You know, I look at polybags a lot. Some of them have a figure and few pieces, some of them have a lot of pieces, or, you know, 70 pieces but no figure, and some are connected to other properties and licensed and some aren't, and all this stuff. But I look at a lot of these and I'm thinking there's, I don't know if it's shrinkflation is the right term, but, you know, polybags are it seems to me recently not the best in terms of value, when at other times I felt like it was really fair. I think it's super important for Lego to maintain a presence at the $5 mark on the shelves. I think that's really, really important, and they should continue to do that. I don't think that means they need to kind of scale these down a little bit or make polybags, you know, have a little less in them or anything. I actually think there's no reason for that except for what some people call the bean counters or whatever else. So I'm not thrilled about this. I have a very clear vision of what this could have been and what this could be, and so I think they missed the mark a little bit. They missed the opportunity given what the potential was here, and so for that reason I'm not like thrilled about it. The stuff that is in here is fine. It is quite good. It's just it could be better, and all Lego sets potentially could be better, but for whatever reason this one really is hitting me at a time where I'm like, you know, I think they should have added more in here. I think there should have been more in the bag, and so I don't think it's the best value, but I still was happy to look at it, happy when I saw it on the shelf, because it wasn't a set or polybag that I was familiar with, I hadn't seen before, so I did pick some up, and you know, I'm happy to be able to look at this and share my opinion with anybody out there. So at least that was positive, and that's it. So if you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Lego Dreams, some more poly bags, and then tons of other Lego sets from all different themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming Lego videos. And then if you wanted to support the channel in a different way, this really helps. You can give money to the channel. You can do that here on YouTube with membership supers and thanks. I have the Patreon. It's linked in the video description on all of my videos. I have a Buy Me the Coffee link that's in the video description of my videos, so maybe consider checking those things out. It's a great help. It's not needed, not necessary, means a lot. I'm very thankful. So thank you very much, and with all of that said, until next time, thanks, bye.